they will be amazed. They will put their trust in the Lord. Psalm 43. Good. Let's do it one more time. Here we go. Psalm 43. Many will see what he has done and be amazed, and they will put their trust in the Lord. Psalm 43. So sometimes it's hard to love somebody. Maybe it's hard to love somebody who's. Why is it hard to love your family sometimes? Because.
What'd you say, Pam?
Okay.
And my brother's evil too. Then he's one of them.
Right, because sometimes our brothers and sisters, they can be unkind to us, right? Or talk harshly to us, and so it's hard to love them. What about, here's one, what about people who look different than us? Like maybe they have a different color skin than us. Is it hard to love them?
I'm tanner than Hannah.
Logan
says that I tan like an Indian.
So you guys do a good job with that. Sometimes adults have a hard time with that, but kids, you guys seem to get that. That's okay. Yeah.
All right, so yeah,
Last night
I'm
I was
dressed
reading
different
about
today.
Joseph.
And does anybody see my? That's my
Why do
cash
you need to
box.
pay taxes?
Yeah.
I'm a 9-year-old.
Money, I love money.
I thought Kingdom Kids was nice.
Oh no, I'm here and I'm
It's a
not
nice
nice.
place.
It was, Ellie. It
Oh, so
was.
you like
I don't like being in Kingdom Kids. We play
Yep.
like sex.
Are you Judas?
Okay, all right, so listen up. All right, so I'm not Miss Jenny. My name is Reuben and I am a tax collector.
Oh, I know him.
Yes.
I think I
And
do.
so, what is a tax collector? Oh, by the way,
They pay overpriced tax and
this
keep it
is
for
my
themselves.
evil companion. This is my evil assistant, and his name is Tipperamus. Okay. All right. Him and I are in the money business. And this is what we do as tax collectors. The Romans have a law that you have to pay them taxes, and they're the ones that are ruling over Israel right now. Okay, so they call all
Are you
the
the one who
shots.
collects the money and gives it to the Romans?
You
What?
got it.
But
Yeah, exactly.
she pays overpriced taxes so she can get money for herself.
Man, you discovered my little scheme going here.
I read the Bible.
Maybe you should be a tax collector too.
No. Not at all.
All right. And so that's right. So I collect taxes, and you know the people are pretty poor. But you know, that's their problem. If they're poor and I squeeze money out of them, tough luck for them. You know, that's how I feel about it. Because I really like money.
Beetle. Is that
I
wrong?
like money, and I like getting lots and lots of money. So when they pay me the taxes, I take part of it for myself, and part of it I give to the Romans. So it's such a good scheme. It really is. And this morning I got, oh man, I got a bunch of stuff from people. I have a little booth set up in the marketplace, and look at all this stuff I got. This is so cool.
I don't save them.
Those are American dollars.
Look at this coin. I got this
Is that
coin
50 cents?
from an old lady. It's actually a silver dollar. Okay? And I got this coin from a lady, and she was a widow. So like her husband died, and she was super, super poor, but she still had to pay taxes. And this is the only coin she had left. And so she didn't realize how much money this really was. But I can get a good percentage of this. So Tipper, you want to put it in the money box? Put it in. Here, stand up. Stand up, bud. All right, put it in. Over there. Still got it in his mouth. Put it in, bud. Oop. Try it again. Whoop. Come on, buddy. Put it in, bud.
Yay!
What a good assistant he is. And let's see what else I got. I got this really cool watch.
Pay you $10 for that?
This man, he came to me and he said, I'm so poor, all I have left is one watch, but I have to repair my fishing boat. I said, that's your problem? You worry about that? Give me your watch. So here it is, Tipper, put it in.
Bad people.
I think
That's not a person.
I
That's
think
hideous
this
people.
dog just-
Hideous dog.
Good boy, Tipper. Man, and then there was this family, and they had lots of kids, and they begged me. They said, all we have left is this one little necklace. And Tipper, so I said, I'm sorry, my dog needs to eat too. So even though they had lots of kids, and this was their last piece of jewelry, I said, give it to me, and they had to. So Tipper, get it.
And then did you?
Where's your money?
And then did you sell these things for like money?
All right, put it in.
No, they
You'd be
actually
like,
own
man, this looks like Paschetti.
And then did you sell those things to get
It's like a
money?
funny show. It's not that funny.
Come on, Tipper, put
Then
it
did
in.
you sell those things?
Nearly.
Did you sell like the watch to get like money?
Oh, did I sell the, yeah, that's what I do. Come on, Tipper, put it
He
in.
doesn't like it. He doesn't like the taste of it. I wouldn't eat him. Oh, now he's trying to eat.
There's nothing in my mouth.
He's like, what?
He's like, let my mouth be
But
clean.
then it's hard to pick up.
He likes it.
Yeah, my assistant went on a break. Okay, all right. You want to settle? Because I'm going to take a nap now. All right. So anyway, so I kind of like being a tax collector, but sometimes when I come home at night and it's just me, and you know, pretty much the whole town hates me. Can you see why?
You're scamming me.
Yeah, they hate me, you know. Their neighbors, their friends, even themselves, they've all, like, you know, I've squeezed money out of them and I've been dishonest. And so I come home at night and I'm all by myself. I have a few friends. One of my friends is Matthew, but he's a tax collector too, and everybody hates him too. All right? And I go, you know, there's got to be more than life than just this, than just making money. Okay. So that's the end of that, and now I'm going to tell you the story about Matthew. What happens to Matthew?
Oh, a laser
Yeah.
store.
How much
Yeah.
do I have to pay for that watch?
And what's, oh, we've got all kinds of goodies in here, but hey, wait a minute, what is this in here? Tipper, did you put in a squeaky toy? You did. Oh, man.
Did
Hey, he thought that was mine.
Did you actually
My
put
dog
it
has
in
the
there, or
same
did
toy.
Tipper?
My dog
Did you
has
or
the
You
same
put it in there.
You actually
Put it in
did.
there.
You actually put it in there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not paying you tax.
Okay,
Did
so.
you know what was in there?
Huh?
Did you know what was in there?
Yeah, well, no, he snuck it in on the side when I wasn't looking. So here's a picture of Matthew in his little booth, his tax collector booth, and he lived in Capernaum, which is by the sea. And again, he was a greedy, stingy, dishonest, hard-hearted tax collector.
Headed.
All right.
Fork-headed.
Yeah, just like his friend Reuben. But who came to town? Who do you think came to town?
Jesus.
Jesus came to town. And that kind of stirred things up, and it got Matthew to thinking. Remember, like his friend was like, maybe there's more to life than just stealing money from people. And so when Jesus came to town, Matthew got a chance to listen to him. He got to listen to him preach and teach a little bit. And it made him start thinking about things that he hadn't really thought about before, like maybe some of this stuff that he was doing really wasn't the right thing to do. And lo and behold, one day, Jesus walked by his booth and he said, Matthew, I want you to follow me. And Matthew thought about it and he said, I will. I'm going to follow you. And all of a sudden, there was a change in Matthew. And let's see, who would like to read
Me.
that first verse there? It's called The Calling of Matthew, and it's verse 9. Did you want to read it?
I want to eat it.
But you don't have a Bible, right? You do? You don't?
He does.
All right, Eli. Okay.
So Jesus forgives and heals a...
Wait. It's verse 9.
Verse 9, 7.
So chapter 9, verse 9.
Yeah, Matthew the tax collector.
Okay.
As Jesus paused on from there, he saw a man named Matthew sitting at the tax office, and he said to him, "Follow me." He across and followed him.
Okay, all right. So just like that, he just said, Matthew, follow me. And Matthew walked up. He got away. You know what he did? He stood up and he walked away from all that money. And he followed Jesus. And
Who found the money?
I don't know. The Bible doesn't say what happened.
I guess everybody swing!
But he just completely turned around. He turned his life around. And sometimes when you turn your life around, and especially when you start to follow Jesus, follow God, you feel happy. And Matthew felt so happy that he wanted to have a party. He wanted to have a dinner. And so, who do you think he might invite?
All the disciples.
Oh, okay, all the disciples, Matthew's friends. Okay. What kind of friends do you think Matthew has?
Tax collector.
All tax collectors, and that's it.
All right, so are these nice guys?
No.
No, not at all. So here's a picture. Here he is at his party, and he invited Jesus too. He invited the disciples, and he invited Jesus. So here's Jesus, the Son of God, who never sinned in his entire life, sitting around a table, eating and laughing and enjoying a nice time
With tons of bad, Satan-y people.
That's right. A bunch of crooks, a bunch of thieves. You know? It's like,
He could have turned around and just bam!
I know.
You're to jail!
You'd think he'd avoid those kinds of people, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
But our lesson it says that Jesus came for everybody.
And forgives.
Everybody, including the most wicked person in the world.
Not Satan though, he's wicked.
And anyway, and here in the background, you see by the door, there's a couple of people that are hanging out watching. Any guesses who they are?
Disciples, tax collectors.
Oh, Roman soldiers.
Good guesses, both good guesses.
Oh,
but
the
not
people
quite.
that didn't like Jesus?
The people who didn't like Jesus, that's right. Who are they called? Remember, they were kind of like the ones who were always spying on him and criticizing him and trying to trap him and,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, the
Pharisees.
Pharisees, that's
Yeah.
right. All right, the Pharisees. These were the religious.
It's crazy. Like, you would think that the church leaders would like Jesus, right?
You would think, wouldn't you think? You would
You'd
think
think.
they're like, oh my gosh, this is the Son of God, you know? He's come down among us. Let's like roll out the red carpet and make him.
turned his a church into a market or something.
Yep,
And he got
You
really
think that-
irritated and flipped off the table.
that's right.
Yeah, you
He
think.
got them upset, didn't
You
he?
would think, but no.
Yeah. So anyway, there's the Pharisee standing in the background. And let's read this part. Let's read this part. Who'd like to read?
Get him on a cross.
Me.
Okay. How about let's have Gregory read, and then I'll have you read the last verse. So, Gregory, can you read verse 9? Or no, not 9. I'm sorry, 10.
10.
Verse 10.
While Jesus was having dinner at Matthew's house, many tax collectors and sinners came and ate with him and disciples.
Okay. Go ahead and read the next verse, and then I'll have Ellie finish up.
When the Pharisees saw this, they asked his disciples, "Why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners?"
Okay. So, they're all angry. The Pharisees are angry at Jesus, and they're saying, like, you're not supposed to hang out with those people. They're bad. They're bad, and we are good. Like, I am a Pharisee, and I am good. And if you call yourself
They're
Jesus-
wickeder than probably tax collectors.
What's that?
The Pharisees are probably wickeder than tax collectors.
You know, some of them, they did all this stuff on the outside, like they acted good, but they weren't good.
I know.
Behind
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, there you go. Behind the scenes, they did all kinds of wicked stuff too. And you know what?
Trap Jesus.
We all sin. We all sin, it says in the Bible, and fall short.
You sin too by getting in our fireplace.
Okay. But this is what Jesus said. Ellie, you want to read that part?
Yeah.
It would be verse 12 and 13.
Chapter 9.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus heard the Pharisees ask this, so he said, healthy people don't need a doctor, only the sick need a doctor. Oh, and then 13 too.
Mm-hmm.
Then learn what this means. I want faithful love more than I want animal sacrifices. I did not come to invite good people, I came to invite sinners.
Okay. So he's basically saying, you know, I'm a doctor. Jesus is saying he's a doctor. He's a doctor of the heart, of the soul, of what's inside of us. And he said, I didn't come to heal healthy people. A doctor comes to heal people who are sick. And so if these tax collectors, these wicked people out here that I'm eating dinner with, if they need to be healed, and they do, don't they? They need to be healed. I've come for them. And that's really important. That's really important because I care about them
That's
just as
special.
much. Mm-hmm.
It's like a special invite.
So Jesus comes to everybody. Everybody. Like Miss Michelle said, well, it doesn't matter what color your skin is. It doesn't matter if you came from the other side of the country.
Yeah,
and
but we
maybe
came from Florida.
Right. Or you have a funny accent, or maybe you have a funny limp, or, you know, all those kinds of things. Isn't that right, Tipper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good accent.
Did you
Okay.
snore?
Huh?
No, he didn't.
He did a moan. He was like,
He wants his toy.
Hurry up.
yeah. And this is really cool because,
waking me up.
all right, this is really cool because Matthew, wait a minute. Jesus called Matthew, who was a sinner, and what book are we reading out of?
Matthew's up.
The book of Matthew. So you know what? Did Matthew turn his life around from being a
Yeah, 'cause he
greedy,
wrote
evil-
this.
He sure did. He sure did.
Except my Bible, red-worded, Jesus wrote some of this.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Because it's red-worded, whatever Jesus wrote,
Mhm.
it's red-worded.
But Matthew was one of those guys who pretty much told Jesus' story. Okay? So,
Follow me was from Jesus.
all right. Well, and I wanna say hi to all the people who couldn't be here today and say that we love you and we're praying for you and we care about you. All right.
Oh, thank you. Talking
That's
to me. Thanks.
I'm gonna gather up all my goodies.
You don't even
Go to the bathroom and they're eating ice cream, they won't let me hold their ice cream because they're afraid that I might eat it while they're gone. And sometimes
So they just put you in the bathroom with them?
So
I
they
mean, I
take
think my
it with
stuffed
them.
animal's in the bathroom with me. I just
They
sit on the
take
piano.
it with them.
I know you
All right.
I heard you can't.
So I have filled up 5 cups with water, okay? And I'm going to tell you what each one of those are. And then I have 1 empty cup, and the empty cup is
It's me.
Jesus. Did you say that, Eli? You knew it was Jesus?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That was a good guess. So the empty cup is going to represent Jesus. All right, so we're going to start with the color red.
Red.
So
Not my favorite
I'm
color.
going to put some red drops in. Red
Wait.
represents you.
Blood. No,
Right.
red was.
Red represents you. Alright, so remember that one is you. Alright, then we're going to do yellow.
Second level.
Yellow is our family. Okay? Yellow represents your family.
He's yellow?
And then we're going to do green. Green is going to represent our friends. Okay.
What about our pets?
Right now we're just talking about people.
Oh man.
Hey,
Right.
real pets.
Um,
Seriously,
right.
real body animal family.
Blue is going to represent maybe some people who have hurt you. Alright? Maybe there's some people
including you.
who hurt you.
What's including you, Miss
No,
Michelle?
that's right, including you, because I hurt you today when I took you. Alright, can you forgive me, Ellie? Alright. And then
Thanks
in
for
our
giving my
last
candy
cup,
back, by the way.
I'm going to make the color orange. Who knows what colors I need to make orange? Raise your hand. Hannah?
Yellow
And
and red.
Yellow and red. Yep. Alright, I'm going to put some red. And then I'm going to put some yellow.
I thought it was yellow and blue.
Yeah. And this cup, this one, it's going to represent the people who have done what we might consider not just someone who's hurt us, but what we might consider doing like the worst things. What's the worst
Like
things?
you? Tax collector?
Okay, you might think it's a tax collector. What might be something else? It's like the worst thing that somebody could do. Maybe
Punching
things that
you in
people
the
go
face.
punching you in the face, or people have to go to jail for these kinds of things. What
Ooh, I know. Speeding. Well, they don't have to go to jail.
I wouldn't say speeding is the worst thing.
Let's see.
Clashing
Let's see.
snow.
No. Let's see.
Not paying your taxes for your house.
No.
Not paying your taxes for your
What
house.
about
Not
what
going to
about
school.
what about if you kill somebody else? Yeah,
Yeah.
is that pretty bad?
Murder.
Yeah, murder.
If you don't wear a mask.
Yeah, or harm someone really, really bad. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I have 5 paper towels that I've cut up and I've folded, and I'm going to put them one side
Oh, I know.
in
I've done that.
in one side in my cup for Jesus, and in you. I'm going to put one in your family.
I've done that.
Yeah.
I've done it only. I've
Jesus
done it
came?
only with. I've taken a paper towel and I've cut off some of it and I've put rainbow colors on it and kind of makes like a design. But
Yeah.
I've never done that before.
All right, so listen up. So red is because Jesus came for you, and Jesus wants you to come to him. Jesus wants your family to come to him. Jesus wants your friends to come to him. All right.
And the whole.
Jesus wants the people who hurt you to come to him,
And he wants the people to go to jail.
and he wants the people that we would consider the worst people on earth, whatever that is.
Satan.
In your mind, he wants Satan. It doesn't count in this group, sadly for him.
Not
this is
sadly
just
for good
humans on the earth. Okay. All right. Now, I want you guys to keep an eye on the water, and I'm gonna keep talking a little bit. Keep an eye on this water, okay?
Okay,
All right. So think about. I'm gonna ask questions for each of the colors. I want you to tell me one good thing about you. Raise your hand if you want to tell me one good thing about you. All right. What's one good thing about you, Gregory?
That I don't kill Aiden other than I wrestle him.
So you show your brother some mercy. Hannah, what's one good thing about you?
When I fall on my skateboard, it doesn't hurt.
Okay. All right. Let's move on. Let's move to
I'm
our
careful.
family. Tell me one good thing about your family. One good thing
What
about
about me? You didn't ask me
about your
myself.
Okay, Eli. One good thing about yourself. What is
That I could play guitar, bass, and drums.
All right. That's exciting.
One good thing about me
Okay.
is that I remembered to feed the chickens and to feed the cats and
I
water
thought I would
them.
feed my
All right.
turtle.
All right. Now let's think about our family. What's one good thing about your family? Hannah?
They're Christian.
They're Christian.
They
Well,
love
now, Taylor, Elizabeth, and Miss Jenny, you guys can answer too. There's one good thing about your family? Is there anything? One good thing?
Am I part of your family?
We believe in hard work.
They believe in hard work. That's a good thing.
Well, our family likes food.
Alright, okay. How about let's talk about our friends. What's one good thing about your friends?
They're not exactly like you, so you don't fight over who's best at that.
That's such a good point. Eli said they're not exactly like you, so you don't fight over who's best at one thing because you're different. So you can enjoy the differences. Hannah?
My friends are good friends.
They're just good friends. Alright, okay, now we're going to talk about the blue cup.
friend?
Alright, so let's talk about the blue cup. So the people who hurt us, right? Let's think about one good thing about the people who hurt us.
They don't kill us.
Can anybody think of one good
They
thing?
don't kill us, Christ, we still get to live.
Okay.
They might break a leg, but
Alright, they didn't kill you, Miss Jenny?
Well, God made them.
God made them. They're still made in
That's
His
special.
image, right? So they still have value. Sometimes I hear my boys talk about friends that they don't like. I saw this a lot when they were younger. Boys sometimes decide they don't like girls, or girls decide they don't like boys, and they talk badly about them. And I would try to remind them that they still have value, right? Because why?
Your goal.
What did Miss Jenny say? Because God, what'd you say, Miss Jenny?
God made them.
God made
Just like
them.
He made me, He made them.
Yep, and He wants them to come to Him too.
I have a bed.
He also made, him, Nibbler.
He made bugs. Yeah, He did.
Nibblers.
All right, how
I
about
have one that's
now let's go to that orange cup, the one that represented the worst people in the world. Maybe somebody who was a leader of another country that decided to blow up a bunch of people in the other country. Maybe people who keep slaves, like took people and forced them to be their slaves. That still happens today, believe it or not. And so, what about those people? What's one good thing we could say about them? Can you guys think of one good thing about them?
That God loves them.
He does love them, Ellie. Yep, He does. And for that exact same reason that Miss Jenny said, because He made them, and they're made in His image, and He wants to show them His love. Today, Pastor Bob in the sermon, he talked about how there was a man in our country, his name was Jeffrey Dahmer, and he was known for doing terrible, terrible crimes against people and harming them. And he went to prison. When people found out, he went to prison for the rest of his life. And while he was there, a lady from a church decided to send him their Sunday school lessons from their church, like what we're learning today. And he started reading them, and he asked to have a pastor come and pray with him, and he became a Christian because Jesus loved him too, even though he did all those really bad things, right? Well, my paper towel isn't as strong as it needs to be, so it's going kind of slow, but if we let this sit here and we come back like in 30 minutes, most of the water from my cups is going to go into my Jesus cup. It's all going to go in. And guess what the surprising part is? The surprising part is that it goes in equally, just as much of the cup from you, just as much from your family, your friends, the people who hurt you, the people that we consider have done the worst things. It all goes in the same amount to Jesus, to the Jesus cup, because Jesus loves everybody. Jesus came for everybody, and He loves everybody the same, right? Do you guys get that? Yeah? And maybe, hopefully, we'll get to see it at the end.